If you're managing an enterprise network, you absolutely know the feeling. You've got brand new laptops, ancient printers, and who knows how many IoT devices all fighting for airtime. It's like a constant traffic jam on the wireless highway. Well, today, we're going to break down a real practical playbook to get your enterprise Wi-Fi out of that chaos and into a secure, high-performance future.
Now, just for some context, this is part 18 of our 20-part series. It's all based on a super detailed technical report on Wi-Fi and Bluetooth standards from the experts over at RFI Detectives, who are part of Virtualization Options, LLC. We're really digging into how these standards work in the real world.
So here's the game plan. First, we're going to talk about the Wi-Fi challenge we're all facing today. Then, we'll walk through a step-by-step migration plan, and to wrap it up, we'll cover some absolutely critical best practices for naming your SSIDs and running your network. Sound good? Let's get into it.
Okay, first things first, the modern Wi-Fi challenge. You know, the core problem for pretty much all of us is this crazy mix of devices. You've got old 802.11g devices chugging along, slowing everybody down, while your shiny new Wi-Fi 6 laptops are just stuck in the slow lane behind them. This isn't just annoying, it creates massive performance bottlenecks and, honestly, some pretty scary security holes.
So what's the solution? It's not about a frantic rip and replace. No way. The smart move is a methodical, three-phase approach that brings order to all that chaos. First, you audit what you actually have. Then, you intelligently segment your network. And finally, you decommission the old stuff. This, right here, is your path from chaos to control.
All right, let's talk phase 1, audit and baseline. This is all about knowing your network inside and out. For the first month or two, your whole mission is to gather data. You need to understand exactly what's happening on your airwaves before you even dream of changing a single thing.
So what does that really mean? It means taking a full inventory of every single client device type, the old legacy stuff, the modern gear, and those security-critical IoT devices. From there, you build your baseline. What's your current throughput looking like? How much airtime is each type of client eating up? And, this is so important, what are your retransmission rates? A high rate there is a huge red flag for a sick network. Just remember the golden rule. You can't improve what you don't measure.
And that leads us perfectly into phase 2, segment and deploy. See, now that you're armed with all that data from your audit, it's time to build that wireless fast lane we were talking about. You're going to strategically separate your modern devices from all that legacy traffic that's been dragging them down. Now check this out, because this is the heart of the whole strategy. A dual SSID approach. You create a sparkling new secure SSID just for your Wi-Fi 6 clients, running on the latest and greatest WPA3 security. At the same time, the old network becomes the legacy SSID. It can still support your older devices, but, and this is the magic trick, it's rate limited. That stops them from hogging all the precious bandwidth.
In the payoff for doing this? Oh, it's huge, and it's immediate. Just by moving those modern clients over to their own clean, dedicated SSID, you can expect a 2 to 4 times increase in their throughput. That is a performance jump your users are absolutely 100% going to notice.
Okay, so you've been migrating devices for a few months, and now we're at the finish line. Phase 4, decommission and optimize. This part isn't just about getting the new network up and running. It's about officially shutting the door on the past and fine-tuning your new environment so it's running at peak performance.
This means you formally decommission that legacy SSID. You have to communicate that sunset date really clearly to everyone. Then you do a post-migration audit to prove it all worked. Is your airtime healthy? Is your channel utilization good? Great. Now you can turn on the cool stuff, like dynamic channel selection, which automatically moves your access points to the quietest channels to keep things running smoothly. Okay, the big migration is done. Let's switch gears for a minute and talk about something that's foundational to any well-run network, your SSID naming strategy. This might seem like a small detail, but trust me, it's a powerful tool for clarity, consistency, and yes, security.
So that leads to the obvious question, right? In an enterprise environment, what actually makes a good SSID name? And believe me, it's not as simple as you might think.
It really boils down to 4 key principles. 1. Use consistent branding. 2. Make it clear what the security and access level is. 3. Avoid confusing technical jargon. And 4, and oh my gosh, this is a big one, please, please, please do not put the frequency band in the name. Making separate SSIDs for 2.4 and 5 GHz is a terrible practice. It breaks band steering, which is that awesome feature that automatically pushes your devices onto the faster, less crowded 5 GHz band.
And this slide just illustrates that first point perfectly. Using a consistent prefix like Acme for all your networks, Acme Corporate, Acme Guest, you name it, prevents so much confusion. Plus, it makes it way harder for a hacker with a rogue access point to trick your employees into connecting to a malicious network.
To wrap things up, let's just go over the high-level, non-negotiable rules for running any modern wireless network. Think of this as your final checklist, the absolute must-dos to make sure your environment is both secure and running like a well-oiled machine. So let's be crystal clear about this. You need to deploy WPA3. You have to get rid of ancient, broken protocols like WEP and WPA-TCAP. They're just not safe. Use 802.1x for real, certificate-based authentication. Patch your systems. Patch them religiously against known attacks like crack and frag attacks. Isolate your IoT devices on their own network segment. And please never forget this. A zero-trust security model starts at the RF layer, the very air that we're trying to manage.
I really want to leave you with this powerful thought from the report. Wireless connectivity is not a convenience feature. It is the primary network access method. You know, all the standards and the tools to build these secure, high-performance networks, they exist right now. The decision to actually use them, to implement them correctly, that's entirely in our hands as the engineers and architects who design and operate these critical systems.